Sunday, everyone. Happy first Sunday in February. And, you know, they call this month of February the shortest month of the year, Black History Month. Ha 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 ha. Well, if you look like me, every day is a day of Black history, okay? I just want to talk about that thing for a minute because I'm telling you, when I think about the fact that when I was coming up, when I was in grade school, junior high, even senior high school, there was no such course as a Black history course, okay? The kind of history that we got was what they wanted us to know. And so our history books pretty much told us about the Civil War and, a whole lot of things. But it wasn't a pretty picture of anything that represented all the contributions that Black people made to the world. And so when I think about the fact that the dictionary says that the word history means an account of what has or might have happened in the form of a narrative, a play, a story, or a tale, okay? Something that happened or may have happened. Uh, Something that has happened in the life or in the development of a people, a country, an institution, etc. All the recorded events of the past, something important enough to be recorded. And so when we think about history, pretty much what we read is the history of the life of quote unquote famous people, okay? People who did something perhaps that changed the course of events in the world, some medical discovery, some, monument that people want to remember, some event like the Civil War. But did you ever think about the fact that every day that we live, we, our own lives, we're writing our own history, okay? You know, in the Bible, God told the Israelites to definitely pass on certain events to their generations, for generations to generations and generations. He wanted it to be remembered, the things that he did for his people. And they often built altars as sometimes a reminder of what happened in that place. There was a stone to, of remembrance. There were always something that God told them, do not forget this thing, okay? And so today, like I said, each one of us, even though our names may not be famous and we may not have all the money in the world or whatever, but each one of us, we're actually writing our own narrative. And the one circumstance where our life story might be told is during the eulogy of a homegoing service. Here is when we hear about the many things that the deceased accomplished, the lives that he or she may have touched, and how each one was significant in their own way, in the manner in which they chose to live. Think about that. It's not until some of us who are not, have famous names or whatever, that our life story is told. It's usually in the eulogy. So when I thought about that, I said, what really matters in a eulogy? So when my life is over and the events of my life are shared, the one thing that really matters is whether God will say, well done, my good and faithful servant. You see, it doesn't matter if the whole world knows of me or whether just those in my community know me, in the community that I serve. What matters is, did I reach those that God assigned to me? Did I do everything that I was supposed to do according to my assignment? So, my history, I have a history. All of us has a history, okay? So, when you talk about exclusively Black history, okay? Well, there were a lot of people who did a lot of great things that not a lot of people heard about, okay? A lot of that information was actually withheld from us. Like I said, when I was in grade school, I mean, we would kind of fight over who was going to do the book report on George Washington Carver or Booker T. Washington, okay? We didn't have a plethora of historical accounts shared with us. Believe it or not, it wasn't until I went to college back in 1988, okay? I went back to school and to get my undergrad degree, Lindenwood College, and I took a Black history course, okay? And there was the first time that I had been exposed to so many names like, oh my God, Carter G. Woodson, Lewis Latimer, Ida B. Wells. We just didn't hear a whole lot until, things started changing, civil rights movement. And somebody said to me last week, why is it that every time they talk about Black history, the only people that they can talk about is Martin Luther King and Obama being the first Black president, when there were all of these people who paved the way for Black people today? Yes, we now have the story of Harriet Tubman. We have, but there was Frederick Douglass, Nat Turner. Sometimes it really kind of, gets under my skin when I watch some of these movies that depict what actually happened to our people, what we had to go through, what our ancestors had to go through just for the right and the privilege to live our lives as human beings, not three-fourths of a human. How do you get three-fourths of a human? I think I shared with you before. I had somebody ask me my first corporate job. How old was I when I had my tail cut off? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because there's this history that Black people, of course, were born from apes, monkeys, so we end up being born with a tail. Have you ever heard anything so ridiculous as that? But that's what was poured into the minds of that other those other people, okay? But when I think about my history, here's where it is important for us as families to share stories with our children, to share stories. It was so much fun. A couple of weeks ago, my husband and I were talking to our grandson. And the grandson is 30. Well, will be 30 in June. And we were talking about the age before cell phones, the age before all this computerized stuff. And we started telling him about, how we had the mobile phone, our first mobile phone in a car. Oh my, we had a car phone. Oh my goodness. And he was like, well, did you have to take it in the house? Well, no, it was stationary. It was in the car, okay? We didn't have these mobiles. We had a car phone, okay? And if you had a car phone, man, you had really arrived. And I said, we had pagers, okay? And he was like, so how and what, what did you do? It's amazing that these younger people, they can't even fathom a world without cell phones and all of this technology that we have today. So I'm, you know, of the mind that we need to start talking to our young people and helping them to understand, especially I'm 70 years old. So that means I was born in 1950. And back in 1950, when I was born, we didn't have the rights as we do today because the civil rights movement was not um, it wasn't in play. There were still places when I was born that said for colored only, for whites only. I remember not being able to travel when we were in East St. Louis, grew up in East St. Louis. The south end of town was where the black people stayed, okay? And if you went north of, let's say, Missouri Avenue, oh my gosh, you was in white territory and you were not welcomed. Let's just say that. You weren't welcomed in that part of town, okay? So it is really important that we share our history and we share these things because I think a lot of this has been lost because our young people don't understand the importance of the vote, for instance. They don't understand that people had to die for the right to vote, okay? Because for them, they just take it for granted. But we have to tell them about those stories, about how it was back in the day, okay? Yes, we were poor people, all right? But some of our generation, of course, each generation we hope gets a little better than the generation before, so that my daughter, should be able, she got a college degree and was able to get a really good paying job. Her house is bigger than mine. She got more bathrooms than me. My granddaughter came to my house. Y'all only got one bathroom? Yes. How about one bathroom when you had 10 or 12 people living in one house? How about a family of 12 with only two bedrooms? Come on now. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Them shotgun houses, okay? Where you had perhaps a living room that also served as a bedroom when you put a pallet on the floor with a pillow. Come on now. Y'all know what I'm talking about? See, these young people that grow up in certain um, neighborhoods because their parents went to college, were able to get the good jobs where they could afford it, okay? So some of them, they come to a shotgun house and they're like, well, Granny, you don't have a foyer? A what? A foyer. When you walk in the house, baby, you in the living room. You ain't in no foyer, okay? You are in the living room. But they got all these different, we got the Rathskeller and the family room and the this and all these different rooms. Baby, please. When I was coming up, you had a living room. Oh, we were blessed enough to have a dining room in my house, okay? But a living room, a dining room, a kitchen, and bedrooms, and a bathroom, all right? And you were truly blessed if you had a bathroom in the house. Because when I tell you, there were people in my neighborhood that still had outhouses, okay? Come on now. That's history. And these kids need to know so that they can appreciate where we have come from and stop just acting like they are so privileged that, it's beneath them to come to somebody's house and not have their own bathroom or this, that, and that. Come on. I'm not ashamed of where I came from. and I'm not ashamed of where I am. No, I don't have the big house with 3 full bathrooms and 10 bedrooms and all of that. Because today, I really wouldn't want to have to clean all of that, okay? I'm comfortable in my little house. It's enough for me and my husband, and it's as much as I want to clean, all right? But start sharing, passing information on to the younger generations so that they will not have to search for the history of family. Tell them about the grandparents and the great grandparents and so forth. Some folk are blessed enough that their parents, I even have classmates whose parents might still be alive and they're in their 90s or 100 years old. But we owe it to our younger generations to share our history. It is our history, okay? And again, we write our own narrative every day, how we live. And so when that day comes when God calls you home, what will be said about you? What will be said about you? What does your history look like? I pray that my life story will end with God saying, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." So that's my little riff for today. And I just want to say happy Black History Month, okay? If we just got to tag it that. But every day that we live in this skin is a day of history. You make it what you intend for them to be able to say about you when that time comes. All right? And so today I have a little song. Hezekiah Walker made this song because I'm feeling Jesus. I'm feeling him all over me. Y'all know that song, okay? So it generally is with a lead and a choir background. I'm going to try to do both of them, okay? So bear with me. But if you know it, have a little fun with me and sing it with me, okay? Here we go. A one, a two, a 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel your spirit all over me. I feel your spirit all over me. It's in my hands, in my soul, down in my feet. I feel your spirit all over me. I feel your spirit all over me. I feel your spirit all over me. It's in my hands, in my soul, down in my feet. I feel your spirit all over me. Oh, moving. Oh, it's moving. Oh, it's moving down in my soul. Hey, come on now. I feel your presence all over me. I feel your presence all over me. It's in my hands, in my soul, down in my feet. I feel your presence all over me. I feel your presence all over me. I feel your presence all over me. It's in my hands and my soul, down in my feet. I feel your presence all over me. I feel it moving, all moving. I feel him moving, all moving, down in my soul. Yeah. I feel your glory all over me. I your glory all over me. It's in my hands, in my soul, down in my feet. I feel your glory all over me. I feel him moving, oh, moving. I feel him moving down in my soul. Hey. I feel your power all over me. I feel your power all over me. It's in my hands, in my soul, down in my feet. I feel your power all over me. Yeah. I feel your power all over me. I feel your power all over me. It's in my hands, in my soul, down in my feet. I feel your power all over me. I feel him moving, oh, moving. I feel him moving, oh, moving. I feel him moving, oh, moving down in my soul. Yeah. Woo! I feel it moving down in my soul, okay? So again, thank you, everybody. And guess what? This Tuesday marks a day in history for me. Come on now, because that's when I will air my first broadcast from WYYC 1250 AM and WYYC 98.1 FM, and it will be broadcasted through Wilkins Radio Network out of York, Pennsylvania, airing at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time on, again, this Tuesday, February 9th. And here's what I'm going to do. For those of you who have access to YouTube, you're going to also be able to hear this at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. No, 1 o'clock Central. 1 o'clock Central Time. You'll be able to hear that broadcast on my YouTube channel. Please make note, DEH Ministries. That is my YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see it at 1 o'clock on Tuesday, all right? Not only that, if you want to hear it on radio, you can also go and download the Streema, STREEMA, the Streema app. When you download the Streema app, it will connect you to Simple Radio. In the search engine for Simple Radio, you enter WYYC 1250, and Wilkins Radio should begin to start airing, and you'll hear it. Now, I think there's a place for favorites. You can hit favorites, and then you'll be locked in, and you'll be able to, week after week, just hit your Simple Radio icon, and you'll see WYYC 1250. And you can do the same thing for Jubilee 690. You know, I'm going to continue airing on KSTL. Can't leave my home. Okay, that's my home, y'all. KSTL Jubilee 690. You can also enter in Jubilee 690, and you can add that to your Streema app as well, okay? Because I air on Thursdays, the Good News broadcast, at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time, okay? So until then, I know today is Super Bowl Sunday, hey! Um, it's also Communion Sunday. But y'all, I'm finna get out of this and I'm finna put on my Mahomes jersey, my Mahomes champion cap, and I'm gonna be rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs, okay? Woohoo! Go Patrick Mahomes. Talk to you later. Have a great day. Stay safe. Stay warm. It's cold in St. Louis. Stay warm. And I hope you don't have to get out in the snow because I'm getting ready to just enjoy my husband today. We going to have us a Super Bowl party just for the two of us. All right? Take care now. God bless you. I love you. Bye-bye.